Moms, I am so excited you're here. I am so excited about this journey we're about to take together. And I am praying and anticipating that these next few weeks are going to be so formative and foundational to the way you do daily life in your home, that it's going to shift the trajectory of your children's lives. But before we start, I have to tell you a story. About 7 or so years ago, my pastor gave me permission to teach a class on prayer. I'm not sure why, but he just let me run with it. And I did. I poured everything I knew about prayer into this class. So exciting, right? No, not exactly. 2 or 3 weeks into the class, a mom with young children stopped coming. And I wouldn't have thought much of it, except she told me why she left. She said, "I have small children, and I can't possibly do what you're teaching here in this class." I was devastated. Somehow I had taken this beautiful and intimate thing called prayer, and I had taught it in such a way that made it seem unattainable and inaccessible to this mom with young children. There's a spot at the end of Deuteronomy, after Moses had just read the whole law to all the Israelites, where he says in Deuteronomy 30, "This command I give you today is certainly not too difficult or beyond your reach. It's not in heaven, so you have to ask, who will go up to heaven and get it for us and proclaim it to us so we may follow it? But listen to this is my favorite. He says, but the message is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, so that you may follow it." See, it's like God was saying, these things are not unattainable because the desire to follow and love me is already in your heart. So before we go any further, I want to be super clear. The things I'm suggesting in this book are not some gold standard for you to strive for and someday reach. If you read through this book thinking you need to do every idea here and teach every concept, you're going to say to yourself, I can't do this. Rather, I've written this book to encourage you on the journey you're already on. Read this book as a tool to guide you and help you do what is already in your heart to do, which is raise your children to know and love Jesus. So before we move any further, wherever you are, I want you to say 2 things out loud enough that the person next to you can hear. The first thing I want you to say is this: I want my children to know Jesus. Go ahead and say that. I want my children to know Jesus. Okay, the second thing I want you to say, nice and loud, is so I'm going to pray with them. So I'm going to pray with them. And you are. No matter how terrible your day was, no matter how many mom fails you've had, you can still pray with your children. You can. And so with all that in mind, let's get started on this beautiful journey.